Hi, I'm Neil MacKenzie and welcome to a spectacular action-packed Born to Ride, the show that brings you future star riders who are ready to mix it with the best in motorsport. This week we travel to the fishing town of Folkestone to meet up with a future riding star as he pounds the bumps at the Astra Grasstrack International Grand Slam meeting, letting you experience what grasstracking is all about. So before you experience the thrills of grasstracking, let's meet this week's champion rider who comes from Derbyshire.
I'm 21 years old, I'm from Melbourne in Derbyshire. I've always had a motorbike. I had my first motorbike when I was 2. That was a 3-wheeled 80cc Yamaha 3-wheeler.
I think Craig has got quite a natural talent. As I've seen Craig ride fabulous, brilliantly. He's done things that, you know, you've just stood in awe and watched him do it.
He's more like my brother, in a way. I hate him, but I love him.
He's been grasstracking since just after his 16th birthday. He had a little ride on the grass track when he was 14, but he didn't really sort of, I don't know, he just played around, didn't he?
Yeah.
Craig preferred playing on bikes than actually competing on bikes until he got to about 16, and then he thought, I want to do this. And he's just had a steady rise. He's not been a...
I'll say his last 2 years is actually come on.
Yeah, this year he's come on leaps and bounds.
And if you're new to the sport, you may not have the foggiest idea what to expect during the 2.5 hours of grasstrack meetings. Don't worry, because we're here to give you a few key points which should greatly increase your enjoyment of the sport.
Usually oval circuit of between 380 metres to this, which is the biggest track in England now, 800 metres.
Speedway and grasstrack have sort of gone into each other a little bit. There's a lot of speedway riders out here today, and there's a lot of riders who do both. And it's got a little bit more integrated because we use the same engines basically.
The real difference is we've got suspension on the back end of this bike. Speedway bikes are rigid, there's no suspension at all.
We have the youth side of the sport, where you can start at 6 on a 50cc automatic geared bike, a rev and go. Going up to a 65cc with a gearbox, then 125s, 250s, 350s.
It's total madness, but it's brilliant, friendly, just everything you can basically want, really.
We have different capacity classes, 250cc, 350cc and 500cc. And then we've got 1000cc sidecars, which travel in the opposite direction to the solos. And we have 500cc sidecars, which travel in the same direction as solos.
You can put yourself up easy with a second-hand bike and everything for a couple of £1,000, you know, for a season.
You have 8 solo rides in a race, all competing against each other, scoring points throughout the day. From that, you get your overall winner of the day. Come on, Craig! It's too slow.
There's more info on how to get into the sport later in the show, but as Craig prepares for his next competition, Born to Ride caught up with him to find out about his passion for the sport.
This isn't like what we usually do. Normally I have to have a crafty one. I've only been doing grasstrack for 4 years, and in that time I've only perhaps had a year's practice, and that was doing a bit of speedway. But I had a real bad accident, so I finished doing that and I've just come to purely grasstrack now. So, but you race week in, week out, every single week you're like racing, so that's the only sort of exercise that you get. And practice, basically. So it's good.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Star of stage, screen and television. Right, how many of you?
5 of us.
5,
Yeah.
right. That's £12 each, please.
Right.
And a programme's £2.50.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right,
Thank you
so
very
I'll
much.
Bring it back then later.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bloody bumpy. There's Bret, there's my mechanic, Janene, my girlfriend. There's Kelly, Bret's girlfriend, and there's Jules, my stepmom. My dad's going to be here later, so he's my mentor, if you like. My dad's raced for as long as I can remember. He's done every sort of principle of motorcycle sport, bar, drag racing and road racing. He's done motocross, trials, speedway, Grasstrack. You name it, really, he's done it. So it was that's really got me into it.
It's race day morning, and after a windy night under the stars, Craig and mechanic Bret set off to examine the track before the day's proceedings commence.
Let's have a look at this. God, bloody cold.
With the track reopening for the first time in 15 years, Craig and Bret are keen to get any bit of information to give them the advantage for tomorrow's race.
Plenty of burger vans for you, mate.
Sod that. Fairground, mate.
Look at that.
Just big those.
I thought it said
3 corners.
I thought it said that it was just a dip. It's a hill. It's a mountain. Looks good, doesn't it, mate?
Oh yes.
Biggest thing I've ever ridden on, mate.
It is a bit.
There's sand. This track is very, very demanding. Very demanding. Fast. Big, fast. Drivey.
It'll dust up a lot.
Yeah. They must keep water down and then it'll be cool.
I have to have a full tank of fuel when I over there.
Half a mile, isn't it, round?
Yeah. It'll definitely be big.
Unbelievable.
Still to come, we have more of this. Don't you be flicking now. Welcome back to the high-flying action on Born to Ride, the show that keeps you two-wheel thrill seekers on the edge of your seat. This week, we're in the fishing town of Folkestone, where Craig Smith, a top 10 under-21s Grasstrack rider, is hoping to improve his ranking at the International Grasstrack Grand Slam. It's race day. Craig and his team arrive at the paddock with a list of things to do before they start racing.
We're now setting the gazebo up. We'll then unload the bikes, just check them over, get ready for scrutineering. We'll then go up to scrutineering, have a bike scrutineered, then we'll wait until practice. Making my belly feel a bit icky.
It's bending back in the vice.
So I was right first time.
What,
18s on the front.
We've got 18s on the front. We've got 18s on the
Yeah,
front.
so you're on about 51s or 52s to start with.
We've got 53s on.
Yeah, well, come down, I think you're under geared there. Because
Right.
if the red light attack was coming off them banks,
Right.
and your motor will run dead free there, that's where you blow it up anyway.
With the van now unloaded, the work on setting up the bikes can begin. Craig's dad Rob comes over to offer his knowledge on the circuit.
Most of the situation Craig gets into, most of the incidents that happen to Craig, I've been there, so I can pass this on to Craig. You get the father-son thing, of course. Sometimes I will say to Craig, your bike sounds overgeared. With our bikes, we've only got 2 gears on the bike, so we have to change the sprockets to get that gearing spot on. You can't change gear, you can't just go down to 3rd or up to 4th or whatever, you're stuck. So that's critical, you must get the gearing absolutely spot on. Sometimes I go to Craig and I say, you're overgeared, mate, we'll put another tooth on the back of that. We'll lower the gearing, makes the bike pull better, and he won't listen to me. Somebody else will come along and say exactly what I'll do, and he does it.
But now we'll just set the clutches up, check tyre pressures, check that we've got enough engine oil in. You've got from the engine to the clutch or gearbox, you've got a primer chain, and we'll make sure that it's all running okay. We're running an 18-tooth sprocket, or on this track we're running an 18-tooth sprocket, but it'll vary on different size tracks. Usually it's a 17. This then runs through a chain to the clutch, which has got another chain behind it, which runs to the gearbox. Spin the back wheel for me, mate.
Hold on. Tighten that in.
That one wants to go out over there.
Try it out. Come on. Yeah.
That's basically set up for your clutch.
I'm changing the rear sprocket to change the gearing.
What's going on?
The gearing's based on ratios.
51.
And today you want to be running 8-8 to 1, which is your ratio really. Because the track's so big, the smaller the rear sprocket, the bigger the front sprocket, the faster the bike will go, slower the rear wheel will spin. Same as on a mountain bike really. So that's what we do it for, so that I don't end up blowing an engine up.
Rob, can you get that off? I can't get it up, mate.
But before Craig can try out the new setup on the track, he has a small matter of registration and scrutineering to take care of, and a chance to check out the competition.
Number 2, Craig
Craig
Smith.
Smith, we know who you are.
I've just got to put a couple of pieces of rubber over the back wheel adjusters where the studs are sticking out, just for safety really, just in case anybody falls off and I catch them with the back, it might just knock them out or something like that, so it's no problem. Just cut a bit of petrol breather pipe, put that over the back adjusters, just put another nut on the sprocket and that's done then. So then they'll check it when I come back in after practice. So it's cool.
After Craig is given the all clear, he takes the bikes out for the practice session. It's essential to get the right setup for this track, and despite the exhausting drive, Craig is only thinking about one thing.
I'm going to do a couple of laps and then I'll be back in, yeah? Okay, go down the hill and start me. I've got the turns worked out now.
After a few adjustments have been made, Craig lines up ready to leave the pits for the first of 3 heats.
Craig was very quick then. Yeah, it surprised me how quick he was going. We seem to gear them quite well, haven't we? I've just got to basically check the oil. I've just changed the engine oil, refueled the bike. I'm just checking all the chains are well oiled now. It's a very dusty track. It'll get in between the chains, so make sure it's well lubed up. We should be okay.
Is that it then?
Yeah, basically, and then we'll just chill out and get ready to go.
Come on! Oh, nail it! Come on, Craigster. Why are you doing that? Come on, you're far from that. Come on! You've got the motor and you've got the speed. Come on, Craig, get past Hickmott for God's sake.
Craig makes a disappointing start in his first ever race on this circuit, and with the bike setup still not quite there yet, he still managed to squeeze that little extra in heats 2 and 3, taking the race right to the finish, fighting off the competition for the right to race in the B final.
Yes, that's a lot better. Now, come on, now. Oh, no! 51's the wrong way to go. He wants a 52.
He said put a 52 on it, make it still his
Whatever.
Craig finished the race in a respectable third, but seemed to be hampered by the loose stones on the track.
In second place to number 153, Thomas Cooper. In third place, number 2, Craig Smith. And in fourth place, number 7, that's Gareth Hickmott. In fifth place, number 611, that's John Cox. And this
got hit by a
is
stone on
going to
my little
become
finger.
under 21 Grasstrack champion, British champion indeed.
Awesome. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Bike now, well, that was set up then perfect. But yeah, I've beaten people who have beaten me all day, so I'm well pleased. Really pleased. And it's through Bret giving me the come on and setting the bike up that it's really gone well. I'm really happy. Travelled 300 and something miles for a really good weekend.
I think he had a bit of a rough start to begin with, but he's done well as day's gone on. Really proud of him in his final. He did really well to come third, especially with everybody else he's racing with. So yeah, he's done really well.
I think it's gone pretty good. I mean, the last time they used this circuit was in 1970, and I can't believe the amount of people who have come up and said, well, yeah, we was here in 1970 and we haven't been to a race meeting since.
Very enjoyable day. Yeah. So, finished third in the B final. So I'm really happy with that. Top 10 finish, finished 9th overall, I think. So that's put me 9th, best under 21 rider in the country. So I'm really happy. Obviously it would have been nice to have got into the A final, but in the B final it's done me. So yeah.
So if you like what you see and you want to have a go, then here's how.
Anybody can really race, as long as they got the relevant licence, and that you just apply for the relevant licence and pass your medical and whatever, and you can ride.
There is junior clubs which they can start riding at 6 onwards if they want to. Most areas that are involved with Grasstrack have got junior clubs, and that's the easiest way. To get dresses and stuff, it's best to contact the ACU, who will give them a list of clubs in their area.
Obviously they've got to get themselves a bike, they've got to get themselves fitted up with a set of leathers, a good crash helmet, which is most important, boots, gloves, goggles, the normal sort of thing, and then they have to have a steel shoe to go on the foot that they put down to go around the corners.
To get into the sport, yeah, you've got to obviously buy the bike, but the bike's unique to this sport. You can't use it for anything else. That is one of the things why we don't get new lads coming in. They can go out and buy a motocross bike and they can go and ride around the fields and play on it and do what they like. You can't do that with a Grasstrack bike. It does one thing, it goes left and left and left. When people get into it, you stay in it. You actually get quite a few motocross lads coming from motocross and they'll think, I'll have a go at Grasstrack, and then they like it and they stay.
And you can reach us at Men and Motors for more information. Well, that's all we have time for, but join us next time on the definitive guide to the exciting world of motorsport.